Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Did Shakespeare. We are continuing our look into weapons in Shakespeare's England by taking a brief look at the battle axe by asking, did Shakespeare use a battle axe? The battle axe that I can find shows up only once in Shakespeare's plays, and that's from Titus Andronicus, who admonishes his army, saying, "Which of your hands hath not defended Rome and reared aloft the bloody battle axe, writing destruction on the enemy's castle?" This comes from Act 3, Scene 1. The battle axe was specifically designed to be a combat weapon, but it was older than Shakespeare's lifetime. By the time Shakespeare was living and writing, the military weapons had replaced the battle axe with the sword. So, as far as a popular weapon, it wasn't popular. But there is every indication to think that it was present. In Scandinavia around 1604, it was actually made a law that farmers had to be prepared to serve in the militia, and it was a battle axe that those farmers would choose to carry because it was convenient to have on your farm. And so in the 1600s and late 1500s, we can see that this weapon does exist in Europe. It is there, and it is, I mean, in all likelihood, it was being used, but it just wasn't the popular, like, regularly issued weapon. Now, what is a battle axe? Well, a battle axe was designed to be a combat weapon, and it looks like the axe that you think of when you chop wood in terms of size, but the blade was bigger and it featured things like hooks and made most often completely of metal. It would be made of steel or sometimes cast iron, and this was so that the enemy couldn't come up and cut off the head of your axe when you were in battle. If it was wrought iron, that's going to stop it. So they had it looked that way. You could hold it with two hands, or actually a strong military man could wield it with one hand, and it was designed both to be a fighting weapon and something that you could throw. So a soldier could launch this at his enemy either by throwing it or projectiling it at the enemy. It was very, very easy to wield sort of weapon. As it's become popular today to go to like axe throwing places, you may be able to visualize the use of the battle axe as a projectile weapon, with its small handle lending itself towards that way. Interestingly, from England's history, Richard I of England is said to have used a battle axe to save the Templars from defeat at the hands of the Muslim cavalry, and the battle axe was also a popular heraldic symbol in England. As it was a popular weapon of times past, it makes sense that in Titus Andronicus, which is supposed to be set way back a long time ago, that Shakespeare would have used it for this play. The battle axe also, if you think about the practicality of theater, if he's on stage and he wants to make someone look big and tough, but he doesn't want them to have to carry something heavy like a cannon, a battle axe would make sense as like a, let's make this guy look military with something I can keep in a trunk when we're finished. That's totally conjecture on my part as to what Shakespeare would have used. I don't actually know. Philip Henslow kept a diary of the different things that were available in for the theater in terms of props. I don't know of any battle axes recorded there, but I haven't meticulously pored over that either. So we could probably look that up and take a better look at it. Philip Henslow's diaries are available online at Shakespeare Documented. I will link you over to that, and you can pore over it yourself. There is, I'm reading it now to show it to you, but he has basically like 325 plays that were performed from 1592 to 1604. I'm just doing a brief look at it right now. I don't see any battle axes listed there. It doesn't mean it's not. His notes are on everything from, when did they perform and how much did they get paid and who was in the cast. But it does also give references to some of the props, like Philip Henslow's diaries is where we know that they had charge of the bears under King James. So there were some polar bears that are listed in there. So it's very interesting reading. I'll link you over to that. You can pore over it, see if you can find the battle axe. It's total conjecture on my part as to whether or not Shakespeare would have used that. So please don't count that as fact. That's just me saying it logically, it makes sense to me. I don't have any evidence for that at all. But that's what the battle axe is, and that's what Shakespeare is talking about when he mentions it in Titus Andronicus. And that's it for this week. It's a short episode this week. I'm Cassidy Cash, and I hope you learned something new about the Bard. Thank you for watching, and don't forget you can find more over at CassidyCash.com, and that's a great place to connect with me and all the other Shakespeareans that hang out there to talk about Shakespeare. Be sure to leave us your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.